going on, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. We're going to be talking about the crypto market today as we're seeing a little bit of a recovery after a very volatile kind of 24 hours that we had yesterday. We had a big rally and then we came straight back down, and a lot of people got stopped out of their longs because we had confirmed breakouts only to then have it turn into a fake out, and a lot of these charts came straight back down below the resistance that they broke. The perfect example is Ethereum. You can see the daily close was well above the resistance line. We then had the next day bring us all the way back down, losing all the gains of that breakout. And now we are trying to get back above the resistance that we basically broke out and then had a liquidity grab below us, right? A fake out. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here, because this is what it all comes down to, guys. Is Ethereum going to make this breakout move that we've all been waiting for? And most people collectively agree this breakout move is going to bring it to somewhere between 6K, 7K, somewhere like that. And I'm one of those people. I think Ethereum is probably going to make a move up to somewhere between 5.2 to 7K. I know it's a big range. Most likely 6K is the region I'm looking at with the highest probability of being hit. But yeah, we had wide scale breakouts only to turn into fake outs. And the question is, are we going to have that definitive breakout? Total 3 is another chart. It broke above the major resistance. It led us to believe we were entering price discovery mode, only for it to then lose that breakout point and come straight back below the resistance. So a lot is to play for right now. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see where this market goes in the coming days. The fear and greed is currently sat exactly at neutral. So we're in neither extreme right now. We've got a lot of room to the upside. We've got a lot of room to the downside. I personally am favoring the upside when it comes to altcoins. There's a lot of reasons for it. Mainly it's the charts. Some people would say seasonality. Some people would say rate cuts. For me, it's the charts. I think the charts are signaling higher prices. So we've got a big swing to come, either to the extreme fear or the extreme greed. I believe it will be to the extreme greed, and I think we'll see that move in the coming weeks. So I'm going to go through all of your questions. Hit the likes as you're joining the stream. The Discord has been insanely active lately. There has been a huge influx of people, especially into the big bundle, because I am now offering copy trading, and there's only a limited amount of people who can join. There are 200 spots, and I believe there's already maybe 100 people already on the bundle. So at the current rate people are joining, I expect the copy trading to be fully booked up by the end of this week. Fully booked up. And that will be very unfortunate because obviously there's a cap, right? Only a certain amount of people, only a limited amount of people can actually end up copy trading me. I've spoke to Blowfin. I've tried to get them to up the limit, but unfortunately they said the limit is 200 for copy trading, and I don't think that's going to change in the near future. So the bundle will be having a price hike because the demand has been unprecedented. There's been people joining it every hour pretty much, and it's put me number 2 on WAP, just behind Iman Gadji. I don't know if any of you guys know him, but he's number 1. So we have to increase the prices because the demand has just been off the charts. So anyway, that is interesting stuff. The Discord's been insanely active. People talking about the markets 24/7, sharing gems, sharing opportunities. And I believe when that total 3 chart breaks out, we are going to be printing like you've never seen before. Left, right, and center, we're going to be making so much money. It's going to be hard to keep up with. Because I remember what happened last time we got a major move on total 3. It was back in November 2024. This time last year almost. We had that massive move up after a very long period of consolidation. We were going down for like 8 months. I remember it last year. It was grueling. It was grueling. We went down, 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 down for like 8 months on altcoins. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we saw those major breakouts. And I remember what it was like. We printed like there was no tomorrow. And I believe a move like that is coming this month. Crypto Goat says, so happy to be a bundle member and on your copy trading, Archie. Well, I'm very happy to have you. And it's great to see so many people join in the copy trading because that's going to be a huge perk long term, right? Imagine in the bear market, I'm going to be shorting coins that are like rug pulling. It's going to be an infinite money glitch in the bear market. And that's the beauty, right? If you're on the copy trading program, you're going to benefit from the bear market. So I'm happy to see so many people joining the bundle, but because there's been so many, I have to increase the prices because the whole point of the bundle is that it is a scarce commodity. If everyone's joining it, then it's not the same, right? Because the whole appeal to it is that you can reach out to me one-to-one, you can privately message me. If everyone's joining it, then I can no longer do that. So I have to increase the prices, and it will be going up in 3 days' time by an additional $500. And if we still get high signups then it'll be going up another $500. You know, people around me, my team, they're telling me it should be $10,000 because people join it and they make $1 million within a couple of months. Not everyone, obviously, but some people have joined and told me they've made millions from it, from some of the things I told them to look into. Best group in crypto, says George. Appreciate that, and I agree. Best buy now, Mavia. Mavia is not the best buy. You know, Mavia is never the best buy because it's a high risk, high reward coin. I would always say, you know, say Aerodrome, Morpho, those types of plays are always going to be more preferable than Mavia. You know, Mavia should be at the bottom of your list. You should be focusing on stacking these types of coins first. Once you've got those stacked, then you can look at some of the DGen lottery ticket plays that you put in, you know, $10, $20, whatever it is to you. Some people, $1,000 is an amount of money they can throw away, essentially. Other people, it's $5. Some people, it's $2. Whichever amount it is for you. Mavia and those types of plays, Millie, they are lottery ticket plays. They could do great or they could just do nothing. They're low conviction plays. You have your high conviction plays, which are the ones listed on the screen that I've highlighted. And then you have your low conviction plays, which are the ones you just kind of throw a little bit of money in. You don't really care if it goes up, if it goes down, but you never know. It could be the next 50x and print you a ton of money. And speaking of low cap gems, I made an entire video on my second channel discussing the best microcaps. So make sure you are subscribed to the second channel. If YouTube ever take down this channel for whatever reason, they've been censoring me already, then that will be the channel I will upload on. When is Avantis going to do some X's? It already did. Bro, have you been sleeping under a rock? It did a 10x in 10 days. I feel like I mention this every single live stream. Avantis did a 10x in 10 days for me and the VIP members. It already printed crazy X's. It was already a huge winner. And now it's having the obvious pullback after a major move to the upside. Now, I've got to be honest, I didn't expect Avantis to drop this low. I thought it would probably hold the golden pocket. However, I never expected it to drop this low, right? But sometimes things happen that you don't expect in crypto. The whole point of crypto is that it is volatile and unexpected things happen. So you can't always time things to the T. Not even I can do that. Sometimes I get things wrong. I got the bottom on Avantis. I got the 10x in 10 days. I took profits basically at the top. But I did expect the golden pocket to hold based off my technical analysis. And my genius analyst Cryptex also agreed with me that the golden pocket would hold. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. And it looks like it might, maybe worst case scenario, come down to the 786 at 72 cents. But, you know, if the whole market recovers here, like it looks like it's having a little recovery, and if it continues, then I would expect it to reclaim the golden pocket and maybe get a bounce. It all kind of depends on the overall market right now because Bitcoin is starting to have a nice little recovery. It's at 123.8. If we pull up the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, you can see we've got a nice green candle here on the 4-hour. If this is the beginning of a nice recovery for BTC, then maybe Avantis will be dragged up as well, right? The rising tide will lift all ships. We've seen this before, right? It looks like a coin will come down to the 786, but the overall market lifts it up and it regains the golden pocket. I've seen that play out many times. Yeah, Say's looking ready for a major breakout. I'm super bullish on Say right now. If you haven't got Say in your portfolio, I think you're doing something wrong, because this has all the recipes for a successful layer one. And we've seen in the past layer ones do tremendously well. We saw in 2021 Cardano get to a market cap of around 85 billion. Solana got around that same valuation as well. Polkadot went to around, was it 40 billion? 30 or 40 or 50 billion for Polkadot. Avalanche also did quite well. Cosmos did quite well. So we've seen a plethora of layer ones have success in this market, and I don't think this bull run is going to be any different. Say, Sui, those types of plays are going to do tremendously well. And if you want a bit of an outsider bet, then I'd look at Casper, because that's not necessarily a conventional layer one in the current state of crypto. It's a little bit unconventional. Yeah, Binance super cycle. BNB's been going crazy. It is insane what BNB has done. It's up 29% this week. I actually had a bet with another crypto influencer that BNB would end the bull market higher than XRP. And I look like an idiot for saying that at times, okay? Because XRP was way higher than BNB. But that was what I said. I said BNB will end up higher than XRP by the end of the bull market. And seems like I'm correct right now. We'll see if it continues. But it was a nice little friendly bet we had. I'm not gonna name the guy, but it was a nice little friendly bet. He's a great guy. But I don't want to I don't want it to seem like I'm making fun of him, you know, if I name him. Because I'm not, because he could be right. You know, XRP could end up higher than BNB. I mean, it's pretty much 50-50 if you ask me. But I'm liking the look of BNB right now. It's performing really well. And a lot of the VIPs have been getting into little BNB trades, you know, in the DGen chat. There's been a bunch of BNB meme coins out there. You can see Omar's posted a few here. Billions and Billions, this Chinese one, Wish Dog. I think they made a 50x on one of these BNB meme coins the other day. So looks like they're printing on those BNB coins. And that's the whole point of the DGen chat within my Discord. I don't go in there too often because I'm not too much of a DGen. I was last bull market, but now I'm pretty happy with my high conviction plays. But that DGen chat is super active right now. There's people sharing BNB memes left, right, and center. I mean, look at these. Is that a Chinese coin? I don't even know what that means. It's not even in English. And that one's up 300. Is that 3,000%? 30,000%. 30,000% in 24 hours. Is that real? Wish Dog. That one's up 255%. Wow. Crazy, crazy stuff on BNB. I'm missing out. I'm going to be honest. I missed this trend. I'll be honest, guys. I missed the BNB meta with these meme coins. Maybe it's not over yet, but these degens and the VIP, they've been printing on these BNB coins. So, you know, people think the group's just like a dictatorship from me and it's all about me. No, it's not. Some of these guys in here are making more money than I am. I've spoke to guys on the bundle in $15 million of profit this bull market. So some guys in here are real ballers. You know, they're making more money than me. They're making more money than people can imagine. What are the best buys right now? I would say that Say is the best buy. No pun intended. Then after Say, I would look at Morpho. I think Epic is a solid buy as well, if you want more of a lower cap coin. You know, Epic could do more than a 10x. It could actually do like a 15x. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like a $50 million market cap. A 10x would be 500 million. It wouldn't even be a billion. H-bar as well is a big one. H-bar is pretty undervalued at the minute. To me, it just looks like it's getting ready for a massive move to the upside. just waiting on a move. A lot of these coins kind of look the same, you know? A lot of these coins are in bull flags. Chirp says, best group ever. Thanks for all you do. Cheers. Appreciate that. Thanks for the $5 as well, Chirp. And I'm glad you're enjoying the best group in crypto. Where do I think Avantis will go in the next couple of days? I'm tired of people everywhere fudding. Who knows where it will go in the next couple of days? I mean, that's like asking someone, if I roll a dice, which number is it going to hit? Is it going to hit 1? Is it going to hit 4? Is it going to hit 2? Who knows? I mean, yes, you can do TA on it and you can infer something, but you're asking me to speak on a coin that is a relatively low cap coin and where it's going to be in 2 days. I mean, I would guess higher. I would guess. Okay, but it's not like the reason why I don't like answering these types of questions is because if I say I think it's going higher in 2 days, someone in the stream is going to long it on 10x leverage and get liquidated. So I'm always very cautious when people ask these types of questions. But look, long term, if you're asking me long term, I think Avantis is going a lot higher than where it is currently. This is one of the best gems out there right now. I mean, the whole Coinbase narrative, you know, BNB is just taken over right now. The whole spotlight's on BNB. It could shift back to base. Everyone's talking about Binance and BNB right now. We're going to have a base narrative at some point. Everyone's fading base really, really hard. And Avantis is the perp dex on base for Coinbase. Linked to Coinbase, backed by Coinbase. So, yeah, don't fade Avantis. And if you followed the VIP alert, you would have got it all the way down at 28 cents. I mean, you'd be up a ton right now. You know, even after this big dump, there's still people up 6 figures in profit on Avantis. And my call on Avantis, retired people have been working 30 years. This call just changed their life. It retired them. It paid off multiple people's mortgages. I had one guy tell me he had lifelong debt, student loans, all sorts of debt, 6 figures of debt. And this coin's profit, the 10x in 10 days, paid it all off. Every penny of debt was wiped because of this call. And those are the stories that make me want to continue doing crypto. Can you share your copy trading stats? I've only just started it 2 days ago. So there isn't really any stats. It's brand new. But I'm not even trying to sell it much because I know that it's going to be full probably in 2 or 3 days anyway. You can join or you cannot join. I'm not trying to freaking force people to join, you know? The demand's ridiculous. So you can join or you cannot join. It doesn't really bother me too much. The point is there's 200 slots. There's probably about 100 people in right now. At the current rate people are joining, by the end of this week, it will be full. Some people are even saying within 2 days they think it will be full. But either way, the current way it's going to be full very, very soon. The bundle is lifetime mentor tier. It's even better than the VIP. So you can basically DM me. That is a perk you get on the bundle. You can direct message me. Ian says, hey Archie, I literally unsubscribed to every crypto YouTuber. You are the only one I actually watch now. The rest are just moon boys using their followers to pump their bags. Keep up the good work. Wow, appreciate that, Ian. And well said, man. Yeah, a bunch of these other YouTubers, they don't know shit. Their results are terrible. They can't speak properly. They just shill you crap. The complete moon boys. telling you everything's going to 1000x. It's ridiculous, man. We need a cleanse of the crypto YouTubers. We need to cleanse the space, and I'm trying to do it day by day, staying authentic, telling you what I truly believe, not taking paid shills. And I'll continue to point out the bad actors because I know them. I've seen what they've done. I get the same emails as they get, but they take the money, and I say no. I appreciate the kind words. Crypto John. Your previous haircut made you look like young David Beckham. You are top, brother. Keep up the good knowledge. Wow, appreciate it. Roy with the $4 says, looking at the chart, do you feel Pudgy is due for a breakout? Thanks for all you do. Great TA as always. Appreciate that. Let's take a look at Pudgy Penguins. I never really got the appeal of Pudgy Penguins. I'm not trying to FUD it because honestly, I think it will do well. But I never really got the appeal of it. I just never felt it, you know? Man, the Discord's too active. It keeps pinging. It's getting annoying. Let me turn that off. Let me put that on silent. Too many people talking in the chat. But yeah, from a charting perspective, this coin looks okay. I mean, the overall structure looks fine. I put on really macro fibs there. You know, but it kind of looks okay. Not screaming out as a buy to me, personally. You know, there's nothing about this chart necessarily screaming out like buy now. Like there's a bit of structure to it, but it's not necessarily fully respecting the fib levels. You know, I like it when a coin really respects the fibs. Daily RSI isn't super bottomed out. I personally wouldn't buy it, but it could do fine. You know, I've heard they've got very good backing as a meme. And the fact that it holds up well, to me, indicates like this is probably going to have a big move because it holds strong, right? The volume's very high as well. Maybe a lot of it's artificial, but the volume's 20% of the market cap, which is reasonably good. It's on Binance, it's on Coinbase, it's on crypto.com. It's a big brand. So it could do okay, but it's just not my favorite meme coin out there. Archie, I lost my life savings on meme coins. XRP down the drain. I only have 10 SOL left. How can I make it back before it's too late? So one thing I'm going to say is if you've ever had a big loss, never revenge trade. Never revenge trade, okay? I've had big losses in my time in crypto. There's been nights I've lost 6 figures. Okay, when I first started trading, I lost 6 figures. Not when I first started. When I first started using ultra high leverage, I lost 6 figures. And it was a big wake-up call for me overnight. Had I thought I need to make this all back, like instantly, I'd lose another 6 figures. You can't have that revenge trading mindset. I said to myself, right, I've lost 6 figures on leverage here. That's a big deal. To most people, that's a large amount of money, okay? And I thought, right, I'm going to step away. For 2 weeks, I'm not going to trade a single thing with leverage. This is going back a long time. Is that I'm not going to trade a single thing with leverage for 2 weeks. And I'm going to note down where I went wrong on that trade. Everything I did wrong. And then I came back to trading. I did a full deep dive into everything I did wrong. I studied my mistakes and I learned from them. And that is the beauty of making mistakes. Okay. Failure is something you can learn from and you can rectify from. You can rectify from your mistakes and you can get even better, right? So you've just got to think about it logically and not think about it emotionally. The emotional response would be, I need to make all the money back right now. Let me put it all on a meme. Let me put it all on high X leverage. No. You lost the money due to mistakes. Maybe you got too greedy. Maybe you got emotional. Maybe you got reckless. Whatever it was. You lost the money. It's gone. You're not making that money back. Don't think about it that way. Don't think about it in the way of, I need to make that money back. That money is now gone. Let's move on and let's make money and let's do it in a practical manner, in a reasonable manner, in a stoic manner. And don't dwell on the past, but you should learn from those mistakes. Write down everything you did wrong. I like writing pen to paper. You know, I have on my desk, I just have paper here and I have a pen. And I wrote down, I'm not going to show you exactly what I wrote, but I wrote down here about total 3, the 1.618, the 2.618, and levels I plan to sell certain amounts of my portfolio at. Putting things down pen to paper is a big deal. It's bigger than what people make out. If you type it on your notes on your phone, it's not the same. If you actually write it down, you learn from it. And what I recommend is if you lose a lot of money from trading, from meme coining, whatever it was, don't trade for a couple weeks. Think about the mistakes you made, how you can, not make them again. And then when you come back to trading, when you come back to investing, continue to write out where you went wrong with any trade, and you'll learn from it. So that's kind of my advice to you. Not financial advice, obviously, but don't think about, I need to make that money back. That money's gone now. Have a fresh start. If you keep thinking that way, you're going to revenge trade, you're going to get emotional, and you're going to actually end up losing more money than what you lost in the first place. I've seen it happen so many times. I'm speaking from wisdom and experience of mistakes I've made in the past as a trader. You're a real one, Archie. I appreciate that. Made 50K on Archie's Avantis call. It will recover. Solid project. I'm glad you made that much money, bro. Great gains. 50K. Can't complain with that. And it's $4,000 to join my bundle. And you make 50K off one call. It's insane. The value there is ridiculous. Evening, Arch. How's it going? Ricky with the $2 says, is Avantis still good to DCA or can it go lower? It can absolutely go lower. Anything can go lower, but it looks like it, from a TA perspective, should go lower. It should go lower. It should hit the 786 fib because it's in free fall. It's in no man's land. Can it go lower? Yes. Should it go lower? Yes. Will it go lower? We don't know. We'll have to see. But from a TA perspective, it should go lower. But if the whole market recovers, then there's a chance that it'll bounce, Bitcoin's at 123.3 now. Lost a little bit of the gains on the day, but it's still positive. Yeah, everyone's asked me about Avantis. I've said many times, it looks like it should come down to the 786 fib now that it has lost the golden pocket. But either way, I think it's going higher long term. So I wouldn't trade it on leverage, but you can't go wrong DCAing a little bit. Look at the chart. Zora looks like it wants to break. Let's take a look at Zora. Yeah, Zora's kind of like, it's showing some signs, it's showing some signs that it wants to make a big move. And this is an example. TA doesn't always play out. Many people would look at this chart and think Zora has to go down to the 786 fib because it lost the golden pocket. Surely the 786 is next. But the buys stepped in because the overall market went up. And sometimes if the overall market goes up, the rising tide lifts all ships. It rises all the other coins up with it, regardless of where they are, regardless of which fib they're on or whether they're in no man's land. Yeah, never FOMO into huge pumps. Yeah, never do that. Do you ever see me FOMO into huge pumps? I always buy dips. I don't buy pumps. That's just my thing. Sometimes you'll buy a pump and it'll play out well, but the vast majority of the time, if you buy into a rally, you're not gonna get it at a good time. You're much better off buying dips or buying the exact point of breakouts. Currently watching this during my break at a minimum wage job. Gotta stay locked in. Absolutely, bro. I feel you, man. I was in the same position. As I was trying to make it in crypto, I was working in a fast food chain. I'd have to wake up at 3 a.m. This is at the weekends because I had education, the weekdays. Um, so I go to school Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday I would work, and it would be I think 12 hours, 12-hour shifts, 10 or 12, I can't remember. And I'd have to wake up at 3 a.m. Have to wake up at 3 a.m. because the place opened at 5. And I'm not a morning person, really. Okay. And I'd have to wake up at 3 a.m. I'd be scrubbing the floors. It was way harder than what I'm doing now. We were actually talking about this in the Discord earlier. Working in fast food is one of the hardest jobs out there, yet it's the worst paid. How does that make sense, right? One of the hardest jobs. Like what I'm doing now is way easier. Crypto is way easier than working at a fast food chain. For me, anyway. Something that requires the mind, where you're just sat on your ass using your mind, is way easier than scrubbing the floors. But yeah, man, keep grinding, and eventually, man, you'll make it. But minimum wage jobs teach you a lot. They really do. It might it might suck at the time, but you get a lot of valuable skills from them. One of which is that you you quite often never want to do them again, right? So if you get that fire in you, you can use it to build a business. Losing patience on Casper. Well, you're a bit late now. you know, the signs were there that Casper was gonna start a decline when I was taking profits on it at 17 cents, 16 cents. I was pulling out of Casper. People are calling me an idiot for doing that, but I did it at the perfect time. And all of those people now are eating their words because they're absolute fools, clowns, idiots. They were all wrong and I was right. Casper was a good sell at 16 and 17 cents and a good buy at 5 cents. What people should have done was sell Casper when I did at 16 cents and then buy back in at 5 cents. That's what people should have done. When Shy Dash was talking about politics and his side of the war and all of that, that's when people should have sold because that was the top. And I called it. I was the only guy talking about it. Everyone else was still in cloud cuckoo land, high in the sky, head in the clouds, as they always are, right? Everyone's just moon boys, emotional, head in the clouds, haven't got a freaking clue, these YouTubers most people watch. It's all sunshine and and fairies, Sunshine and rainbows. They're in fairyland. The warning signs were that, and no one wanted to admit it but me. No one spoke out about it. And I am so glad that I sold Casper when I did. Because now, if I want, I can buy back in with way more capital. Way more capital I can buy back in with. And all these other YouTubers, these Casper Maxi YouTubers, they were calling me stupid for doing that. I mean, look who's stupid now. With all of that said, I am still bullish on Casper. I still like it as a project. I still like the tech. I think it's a truly unique project. Very few projects in this space are actually decentralized, and Casper is. But it remains in a downtrend until it breaks above that resistance line that I've shared many times. Casper is still definitively in a downtrend. It needs to break around 9 cents. If it breaks 9 cents, then you can buy back in because it's probably going to go a lot higher. But currently, as we speak, it is still very much in a downtrend. And I've been vindicated on Casper, seriously. I've been really vindicated. The amount of the amount of backlash I got for those tweets where I spoke out about Casper and said it wasn't looking good, it was like a year ago now or more. The amount of hate I got from those tweets, I bet those people are eating their words, regretting every single thing they said because they're all completely wrong. And this is the lesson, right, for everyone. These maxis, maximalism in general is a recipe for disaster. You should never be all in on anything. You've worked hard for your money. The idea of just being all in on one thing with all your lifelong earnings is ridiculous. I wouldn't even be all in on Bitcoin. You should always be diversified in everything. You were spot on about Shy. Absolutely, man. No one wanted to admit it at the time, but that broke the uptrend on Casper. Casper was very much in an uptrend for a long period of time. And his political rants were really turning people off. One guy I knew had $10 million in Casper, and because he disagreed with his partisan political beliefs, he sold the entire bag. Imagine how many other people probably did that. And that's what caused a big dump in the price. And then they continued to prevent marketing, continued to just not market the project. I just get frustrated when I talk about Casper because it has so much potential, the project. You know, it's like having a kid, and that kid had so much potential, but they just never put the work in. And that's how it seems with Casper. It has so much potential, but the team just don't put the work in with exchange listings, with marketing. They need to get listings, and they need them now because time is running out. Can Toshi do a 10x? Possibly. Asta and Toshi, they're both decent. Both decent plays. Look, guys, I'm not against Casper. I love Casper. I just think you should have a diversified portfolio like these coins I'm sharing on the screen. And yes, some of them are proof of stake, and we don't like proof of stake. But the reality is, I don't care about I don't care about the tech. I care about making money. Proof of stake is centralized, I'll admit it. I don't like it, but I'm here to make money at the end of the day. Yeah, I got no loyalty to a coin, absolutely. The only thing I have loyalty to in crypto is making money. and my VIP group. Those are the only two things I have loyalty to. And obviously you guys on the channel. But man, people really get too closely affiliated with one coin. And even I'll admit, even I have made that mistake in the past with Casper. I got a little bit too deep into the rabbit hole, a little bit too entrenched into Casper. I had like half my portfolio in Casper at one point this bull run. So again, I'm speaking from experience, guys. Luckily, I pivoted at the right time, though. That's the difference between me and many other people. Other people had 50% of Casper in their portfolio, and they didn't pivot at the right time. Luckily, I managed to pivot out of it when those warning signs were there. So smash the likes on the stream. I want to try and get the likes up on this stream. I haven't been asking people to hit the likes. I usually forget to ask. But if we could get those likes up, that would be amazing. Damn, haven't caught you live in a min. Everything altcoin. I recognize that name. Everything altcoin. I know that channel. Bro, you've been in the space a long time. I remember everything altcoin from years ago. I swear you collab with Crypto Millie. I don't know if it's the right one. I assume it is. I don't know. Sometimes people copy names and stuff like that, you know? I can't tell if it's the real one, but I remember everything altcoin from back in the day, ages ago, man. Crypto Millie, everything altcoin. Yeah, if it's the real you, man, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. How's it going? Love your honesty. Thank you. Is it a good idea to get out of Avantis completely and just buy back in at 72 cents? Well, that's a risky move, my friend. Could it dump back down to 72 cents? Yes. But if the whole market pumps now, that will lift Avantis up with it. And you'll miss your opportunity to buy the dip. So quite often, the balanced approach is the best approach. An all-in or all-out approach quite often is the wrong approach. Being completely out of Avantis right now, I think is the wrong approach. Being all in on Avantis right now is the wrong approach. The best thing to do is have a bag, buy a little bit here. If it goes down to 72 cents, which it could, double down on your position, buy more. That's exactly what I told someone on the voice chat within my Discord group yesterday. If you don't know, I hold voice chats every single day in the Discord, talking to the members. They can speak and ask me questions. And I'm much more of a voice chat person than a text person. I prefer talking to people, you know, man to man or man to woman or woman to woman, whatever, right? I prefer talking to people rather than just doing it all through text. And yeah, someone asked me the exact same question. Would you buy Avantis here? I said I'd maybe buy a little bit if I didn't have any, but I'd double down even more if it went lower. And that way, you get the best of both worlds. If it just starts pumping here, at least you got a bag. If it doesn't start pumping here, then and it goes lower, you can buy some more and lower your average. Smash up the likes. Appreciate that, Bloomfield. Let's check how many likes we've got on the stream. So if you're not subscribed to the new channel, make sure you are, guys. It's Crypto Archie Plus. Just made a video on my top micro caps. How many likes have we got? So there's 250 people watching live on YouTube, and we've got 93 likes. If we could try and get that to match the amount of live viewers, that would be amazing. If we could get it up to 250 likes, so it's equal, that would be huge. Goes a long way. Harrison says, Archie, you're amazing. Appreciate that. And you're asking me about AI coins, and you're surprised I'm not heavier in AI coins than I am. I'm actually relatively heavy in AI coins. The only thing is, I hold a lot of virtuals and I hold a lot of Tau especially. Those are the two AI plays that I have a lot of. So I don't really dabble into many other AI coins because, in my opinion, I have the two best ones, which is Tau and virtuals. Now, you can get beta plays on both of those, but I prefer just having the real ones, the big ones. Alki is a good one in the robotics sector. We made some nice gains on Alki in the VIP group. But yeah, on the whole, I am bullish on AI coins, but you just can't have them all, right? You got to narrow it down. And in my view, the two best AI coins are Virtuals and Potenza Tau. And I've had them for a very long time, and I got very good entries on both of them. I got Potenza Tau as low as $198, and I got Virtuals as low as 55 cents or 54 cents. So both of them I'm up a lot. And that's maybe why you don't see me talk about AI too much. And yeah, exactly, Brent. I called the AI trend before anyone else in 2022. The whole, just so people know, because some of you guys maybe only just joined my channel. The whole reason my channel blew up was because of the AI narrative. I went from like 100 subscribers being a nobody to like 10K subs over like a few nights, over like 2 weeks or something, 3 weeks. And the reason that happened, maybe not quite that fast, but it was super fast, okay? I went from 100 subs to 10,000 like that. The reason that happened was because I called the whole AI rally in crypto. Viot was the first one. That one did a 55x in literally a few months. I think it ended up topping out at 100x, but I didn't take profits at the very top. I think net we came out of like a 55x on it. Virtuals was one of them. And then the other one was Singularity Net, AGIX. I don't know if any of you guys remember. If you do, you're a true OG to the channel. But they were the two coins that I called super early on my YouTube channel, and that's what got the ball rolling. That's what really propelled my channel up. So I've called AI coins left, right, and center, and I made a lot of money on AI. Since then, I've kind of scaled out more broadly into just generalized layer ones like Sui, Say, projects like that. And I'm very bullish on DeFi and borrowing and lending right now. I think both of those sectors are quite undervalued. I'd look at Morpho, Arrow, Avantis. DeFi is very cheap right now because DeFi is always needed, right? It's a true utility sector. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up the stream here. We've been live for almost 50 minutes. I appreciate each and every single one of you joining. Make sure to hop on over to the VIP group so you can stay in the know and you can see my real-time buy and sell alerts. Also, something for free, zero charge. Book a call with one of my closest representatives. This guy is like my right-hand man. We talk every day. He's an analyst. He's a researcher of mine as well. And he's great with looking at portfolios. So if you've got a portfolio together, you're not too sure on certain things, bring your conundrums over to him. He'll look at it. He'll give you the rundown and he'll tell you exactly what I would say when looking at your portfolio because he knows my system very well. He probably knows it better than me, actually. So yeah, go speak to him. Completely free. The link's in the description. It's on the memberships program. Ricky says rug super chat. Did I miss a super chat? Oh, sorry. Sonic. Is it cooked? Let me check that quickly. Sorry, I always hate missing super chats because I don't mean to ever do it. Is Sonic cooked? I don't think it's cooked, but I was never a big fan of Sonic. How often do transitions actually end up going well in crypto? Like when a project transitions to a new coin, migrations. Phantom was the original, and then it turned into Sonic, and everyone shilled it at the top. All the YouTubers you watch, they all shilled Sonic right at the top. I was telling people up here, be very cautious about this. How often do migrations actually play out positively? Very, very rarely is the answer. And Phantom was kind of a dead coin in a way. It did great last bull run, but it was kind of dead. And that is why they did the migration, because it was a failing chain in terms of its price action. So they felt the only way to rectify it was to make a whole new chain, and look at what's happened since they launched. Maybe they launched at bad timing. Maybe. It's still good tech, I guess, and it should do fine long term, but this is not a project I would hold. If you're down on it, then maybe you could keep a bag, because it should rally, but I wouldn't be looking at going heavy into this one. But yeah, guys, get yourselves over into the Discord. Like I said, 24/7 active chats, voice chats as well every single day. I'd say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours of the day, there's voice chats open. So almost half of the day, there's people in the voice chats talking about the markets. And, it just really is the place to be. And I wanted to mention the bundle as well. There's 200 slots for the copy trading. The maximum capacity is 200 slots. I believe we're probably around 100 slots by now. I haven't checked it, but my guess would be around 100, 110. And with the current rate that people are joining, we should be around 200 slots by the end of this week. So if you are considering joining the bundle, you want to copy trade me both in the bull market and in the bear market, this is a lifelong plan. It's lifetime mentor tier. You'll have access to it for life. So check out the bundle if you are interested in that. You can also pay through crypto. All the information for a crypto payment is in my Discord group, and use the help chat if you have any issues. I'm going to put that Discord link in the live chat for the live stream. Appreciate all you watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Goodbye.